Welcome back. Okay, do we have to be worried? Do we have to be worried? Well, no. Do you have to be not worried? Well, no. You get to worry if you want to. And honestly, when people ask that, why don't we sit down and get a piece of paper and a pen and write down everything we're worried about and just set aside 15 minutes and be worried until we're all done. Because when we're all done being worried, then we can go and have fun. The things people worry about when we're playing with the off-planet presences, it's, I'm joking about it, of course, but it kind of is true. But it's also totally valid to worry about things, because really the mind just wants to know that it's safe. We're talking about off-planet consciousness, which is accessible to you all of the time. And it's accessible in a way where you never need to be threatened. You are absolutely immune to being harmed when you claim that capacity. When you claim your capacity for immunity to harm, there is no way you can be harmed. And that too, there's so many things to share. We can talk about that in a few future episodes. But here we'll just introduce it to you, because when you worry is actually the time when you are susceptible. It completely makes sense that the mind would worry about whether or not it's safe, because you can't really control what's happening in the stars. And the mind would love to be able to control it so that it can feel safe, so that it can make sure it has what it thinks it requires for everything to turn out the way it thinks it needs it to turn out. And so it totally makes sense that there would be worries about that. Am I in danger? How is it going to feel? Am I going to be hurt? Those are all totally valid. To know whether or not you need to worry is pretty simple, though. The first answer is no, you don't need to worry, because you have a way to discern for yourself whether or not you're in danger. And beyond that, when we're talking about off-planet presences and off-planet consciousness, you not only have a way to discern, but you have the total and complete capacity to declare that you're not available to be harmed. And if you ever do feel that you might even be close to being harmed, because we're playing at the level of consciousness, you have the capacity to end the communication at any time, very literally by saying, "This is over, you need to leave." That's it. That is accessible to you at any time. This is over, you need to leave. And when that is what's absolutely true for you, then you are insurmountable. Your presence becomes the governing presence of the moment. So do you need to worry? No, you don't. But it is totally understandable if worry happens. There are many different off-planet races, off-planet frequencies, off-planet collectives. There are many, many different combinations and many different purities. Not all of them are of love, and many of them are. That right there is your first point of discernment. When you let yourself open up to connect, say even just playing with the presences that change color in the sky, change from pink to blue, and change shape from a straight line to a spinning. Sometimes it would seem like a gyroscopic shape, or whatever shapes or formations present to you. When you let yourself open up and be willing to connect on these levels of consciousness, you can begin the entire exchange by tuning right into your own body so you know how your body feels, tuning into your heart level so that you have the resonance of your heart activated at that time, and then tuning into your expanded consciousness and beginning with the declaration, I am not available to be harmed in any way in this connection. I'm not available to be harmed in any way in this connection. And then take a deep breath. Feel the resonance of the truth of what you just shared, moving throughout your whole body. Let yourself embody the sensation that I am not available to be harmed in any way in this connection. And so you speak it, so it's the truth. But you know it's true when you feel the truth of it moving through your own body. That's how you know. That's how they know. When you feel the truth moving through your own body, that's how they know what's true for you. So, if you'd like to put it out there before you even open yourself up to connect, I'm not available to be harmed in any way by this connection. And so it is spoken, so it is done. It's the truth for me, and so it is. That right there is the first and most beautiful way to begin any connection, any opening, because you empower yourself throughout the entire exchange. Now, the next spot to play is when you do connect. Say you are presented with the colored lights in the sky, or you're presented with the awareness of a presence, or even the physical presence appearing right before you. The very first question you can ask, and this is empowering yourself as well, the very first question you can ask is asking very directly, connecting with your own body, your own heart, and asking that presence very, very directly, are you here of love? Yes or no? And when you ask that directly, the first answer that comes is the answer to run with. Because when you're asking questions directly in consciousness, you will be presented with the truth straight up, the first answer that presents. Are you of love, yes or no? And run with the first answer that presents to you. If the answer is yes, then you have the option to continue in the conversation. If the first answer that presents when you ask, are you of love, the first answer that presents is no, well, my response to that is immediately, then you are not welcome here. You need to leave, be gone. And it's not a request. It's a command. And when you empower yourself in consciousness and make that command, you need to leave, you're not welcome here, then your presence is far, far, far more powerful than any off-planet entity playing in consciousness. You, as an embodiment of creator consciousness, you have the capacity, the ability, and the freedom and the empowerment to be unavailable to anything that is not of love, to be completely unavailable to any tone, any frequency, any vibration that is not of love. You are not required to engage with anything that is not of love. So as you open to the beautiful colored lights spinning and moving and twinkling in the sky that are offering themselves as a connection to you, and you let yourself and the entire universe know, I'm not available to be harmed by anything in this exchange, and feel the truth of that statement for yourself. Not defensive, not offensive, but the truth. I'm just not available to be harmed by this. And these dear ones present right in front of you in consciousness and in light form or beyond, and you ask, are you of love? And the answer is yes. Wow, what an opportunity. And if the answer is no, another opportunity to say, be gone. You're not welcome here. I will not exchange with you. Leave. It's not a request. All of that is your innate capacity, your birthright, your empowerment, and just so much fun when you start playing with your own abilities. The only thing that really stands in the way is worrying about it. Why would you worry about it when you are empowered with everything you require to let yourself open up at levels of consciousness, to connect with off-planet presences who are of love, and you're also equally empowered to not engage with those who are not. The only thing that gets in the way is the worrying about it, the second guessing, the wondering, because that creates an interruption in your awareness of what's true for you. That's the only thing that can get in the way. So, do you have to be worried? Well, what I would say is if you do feel worried, then continue playing with what it feels like to empower yourself with the ability to say no thank you. No, I will not engage with this. Continue to play with what it feels like in your whole body when your entire body moves as one, very congruent with the truth that you are available only for an exchange that happens of love, as love, and in love. Play with what it feels like throughout your entire body when you know that you are congruent with what you're saying. Every part of you is congruent. And you can play with that by looking at a tree, taking a breath, and just saying, I'm looking at a tree. And is there any conflict anywhere in your body? If there is, well, that's an opportunity to explore, I wonder why I'm in conflict with saying that I'm looking at a tree when I'm looking at a tree. I'm actually looking at a tree. It is a tree. I am me. I'm looking at a tree. I wonder why I would feel conflict. Exploring yourself in those ways is what leads you to the total congruency of your capacity to say no thank you to exchanges that are not empowering and not of love, and to, by the same right, open up and engage in the conversations in consciousness and beyond that are of love. It is about empowering yourself. It's about understanding what you're capable of, opening up to the tools and the awareness so that you can walk forward with confidence, with courage, and with tools and empowerment, and never, ever, ever have to give yourself away to something that you don't feel congruent about. So be worried, don't be worried, but be aware of how you're actually feeling so that you can empower yourself to do what you require to continue forward in the way that works for you. And have fun with it. And I will look forward to sharing the next installment with you very, very soon. Please ask questions or leave comments, and I will watch those questions and answers be integrated as I get to share more with you. Have an awesome day.